and welcome to Skills for Health. We're now in Unit 2, where we'll be talking about thoughts and feelings. The topics that we will cover: sense of self, effective communication, managing stress, finding help for mental health problems. Today we will define key terms of communication, describe the relationship between sense of self and communication as well. So let's begin. We're going to open with values. What values are important to you? Which ones do you need to work on? Which ones are already important parts of yourself? You can take some time and read the article that's posted on the screen, or you can do your own research on values. Once you find a good source of information on values, try to locate a list of values. Go through that list. Check off the items that you believe are a part of your sense of self. Highlight the items that you consider to be value and would like to input into your sense of self. Devise a plan to start working on incorporating those values into your daily thoughts and actions. If you woke up and moan, "Oh no, it's morning," catch yourself and try saying, "Oh good, it's a new day with new possibilities, opportunities." This has to do with your attitude. Is your overall attitude pessimistic? You believe the worst will always happen. Or is it more optimistic? You believe that outcomes usually will be good. If you want to change your attitude, your task is to catch your negative thought and replace it with a positive statement. Attitudes. Who is the person you most admire? The person you most admire might be a person that you would like to be like, that you emulate. Does that person have good self-respect? An important outcome of acting according to your own positive values is your own self-respect. If you feel proud of your actions, you are feeling self-respect. Alternatively, if you feel disappointed in yourself, you are experiencing a lack of self-respect. Take a self-respect test. If you aren't sure about whether to take a certain action, ask yourself if the person you most admire will respect you if you took it. Self-confidence. Self-confidence is a feeling of certainty in one's own abilities and overall faith in oneself. You expect to handle what comes your way. It is an outcome of acting in accordance with your own positive values. Respecting yourself and taking charge of your own health. Actions that you can take to increase your self-confidence. You can exercise and eat right so that your body is healthy and you don't feel sick. You can do something for someone else as often as possible. You can spend some time every day doing something that you enjoy. You can pay attention to your grooming and appearance. You can spend some quality time with a friend or someone in your family. Self-smart. How a person thinks and feels about himself or herself is a person's sense of self. How you treat others and what you do in life often has its roots in your own sense of self. Check out the cat. What matters most is how you see yourself, and he sees himself as a lion. So, we've discussed a lot of different areas of the self. Self-respect, which is a feeling of high regard or esteem for oneself. It's having high regard for yourself but not being stuck up or conceited. We've touched on values, your deep beliefs that guide one's actions. Positive values include compassion, honesty, respect, responsibility, and trustworthiness. Values determine how you treat others. We've talked about attitude, whether it's optimistic, pessimistic, cynical, or critical. Optimistic means, again, what is your dominant attitude? Is it optimistic, expecting good, pessimistic, gloomy view, cynical, distrustful of yourself and others, critical, judges and finds fault? Attitude is mental positions towards facts, events, or conditions. Your dominant attitude is how you see the world. Your dominant attitude affects how you see the world and yourself and your behavior. We touched on self-confidence, which is a feeling of high regard or esteem for oneself. The I can do it attitude. So, we get to influences on your sense of self. You've learned that influences are anything or anyone that has the ability to sway your thoughts and actions, and that they come in two basic types. Internal are coming from inside the self. External are coming from outside. If the influences around you support and encourage you, give you accurate and constructive feedback, respect you, and let you know they care about you, they are positive influence on your sense of self. Not surprisingly, if they put you down, gossip about you, manipulate you, or disrespect you, they are negative influences on your sense of self. There are many factors that influence your sense of self, and they can have a huge impact on how you react to life's ups and downs. The sources of influence are your social environment, connection and belonging, meaningful activities, and your own personal internal promoter or critic. So the first one, your social environment. Everyone who is in your social environment influences you. Your family members, friends, teachers, and other adults. They can either support and encourage you by giving you accurate and constructive feedback, respecting you, letting you know they care about you. If they do these things, they're positive influences. Now, if they put you down, gossip about you, manipulate you, or disrespect you, they are negative influences on your sense of self. Connection and belonging, too. When people in your social environment are supportive, caring, and respectful, you are likely to feel connected to them. You probably also will feel a sense of belonging in the environments where you feel connected. Meaningful activities, 3. To contribute to a positive sense of self, these activities should be meaningful in some way. A meaningful activity builds your skills, helps you relax and enjoy yourself, provides help or assistance to someone, or contributes to your family or community in some way. Internal promoter, internal critic. 4. Your internal promoter / critic is that voice inside that evaluates your thoughts and actions, influences your sense of self. The voice can be a positive influence, your promoter that helps you work hard to improve your skills, or it can be very negative, your critic. If your internal critic is too demanding, your sense of self will lean toward the negative. This often results in physical illness and emotional stress. We are well into week 2. You should be finishing up the 7 skills in Unit 1, completing that quiz. You should be working on reviewing Unit 1 and completing your Unit 1 Test Part 1 and Test Part 2. Next week, we'll get further into the sense of self in Unit 2. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you soon. Let me know that you've watched the recording by going to http://tinyurl.com/HS class recordings. Your secret word or password is self. Remember, you're not responsible to complete the explores and the practices. If you do, however, complete them, by the end of each unit, you can receive extra points. Again, you're not responsible for completing the explores or practices. These are simply places where you can check your understanding and apply what you've learned. Again, thanks for joining me. See you soon.